Hi guys, and welcome to a brand new series. It is Total Control with Huesca. So this episode, obviously, probably going to be a fairly short one, as a lot of my introduction episodes are. What we're going to do is I'm essentially going to explain what this series actually is, because I'm sure those of you that haven't been watching sort of the latter stages of Polonia are probably wondering what on earth this is. So I'm going to explain it. So first off, right off the bat, it's this type of series. I've sort of done something like this before, but I wanted to take that to a next level, essentially, because I enjoyed some elements of it, and I wanted to sort of investigate more down that side of things. So firstly, it is a one-season challenge. Now, you might be thinking, oh, that's going to be pretty short. No. And that is where things are going to take a slight turn from my usual style of content. As much as it is a one-season challenge, we're going to be moving a lot slower. Now, if those of you that remember watching my Fulham save, I showed everything that I could. I didn't have, like, off-camera games as such. Everything was shown. However, the problem with that was things moved too quickly in order for me to actually show anything of real depth, and we just ended up watching highlights of matches, and I think it kind of defeated the point of the save. And what I really wanted to do was take a more in-depth look at FM in general, as well as having it feel more like a Netflix documentary, in all honesty. If anyone's watched the Sunderland Till I Die one, that should give you an idea of the kind of pacing we're looking at here. My main reason for wanting to do this is I feel like there's a level of immersion that you build up when you play an FM save that I think is difficult to get across when you're making videos. I do think that to a certain extent, FM content creators like myself are able to do that. However, I feel like there's a better way of doing that than I'm normally going to do, and that is to essentially take things slower, which allows us to build a story better over one season. So we've got an end point. Like, there is a beginning and an end of this save, which is clearly set out from the beginning. But the other and the main driving force behind what I want to do with this save is I feel like there's a lot of aspects of Football Manager, particularly on the newest game this year, that are not even ignored, but like undervalued and underrepresented, because at the end of the day, you can get by quite comfortably without taking much attention to those things and leaving a lot of that to your assistant. But that's where I want to change things, and that is why this is called Total Control. Because I, in this case Mariano Bravo, more on that in a minute, will be in charge of everything, and I mean everything. Everything that is possible for me to control, I will be controlling, with as like a couple of exceptions, which I'm sure you'll understand when we get to. But to give you an idea of what that means, I will be doing the scouting myself, not like sending. I will be the head scout. I will be sending the scouts out on assignments that I pick personally, with doing all the in-depth stuff. I'll be setting up training stuff. I'll be checking the medical centre, acting as the head doctor as well, to keep players rotated in the right way to avoid injuries and whatnot, because that's always a common complaint that you get, and I made that complaint too, but I feel like there are ways you can improve it. I'll also be doing stat analysis before matches, to the idea of, basically, when I did Stockport, when I've done Polonia, I've had moments where I've had to take a step back and do a couple of hours of analysis, or not even, sometimes a couple of hours, and it's really helped in matches, and I wanted to see what it would be like if I did that for every game. What sort of boosts, so to speak, could you achieve by doing that? And that's why I chose Huesca, because they are predicted to come bottom of La Liga. Obviously, they came 19th in real life, which is pretty good comparatively speaking. And I wanted to sort of give it a go. Firstly, just mainly see if we could keep them up, but to see whether, if we really play this game sort of hardcore, whether we can actually achieve more than that on an absolute shoestring budget. And the other factor behind me wanting to highlight these aspects of the game is that I myself have not really given much thought to them this year. I've sort of given them a cursory glance, as I'm sure a lot of you have as well, but I really wanted to learn, and I figured the best way for me to learn would be to do a series on it where I have to take it seriously. And some of you guys might pick up stuff along the way. This is not a tutorial. Please don't get that idea, because that makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about. Now, you might accidentally learn something, but I believe me, that is purely by coincidence. So as for the pacing of the save, it will vary. Sometimes it will speed up a little bit, sometimes it will slow down a little bit, depending on what we're going to do. For example, next episode you're going to see is going to be setting everything up, doing a little bit of hiring staff, all this sort of jazz, as well as playing our first friendly. Yeah, that's right, we're playing friendlies, because we're going to build a tactic from scratch. We're going to analyse the squad, look at the players we've got, look at what we could potentially do for the season, and build and analyse ourselves into a tactic, basically. That's going to be the first few episodes, is us actually building a tactic from scratch, because I normally do this, but I always do this off camera, and I want to do it on camera because I feel like it's fun, and I'm going to get better at the game by doing it. Everybody will, hopefully. Or you'll learn what not to do, so it's a win-win, really. I hope I'm explaining this properly. It's always a difficult thing. I've got notes, but I always end up veering off of them crazily anyway. So essentially, I'm in control of everything. You're going to see me do a lot of this stuff as well. That way, we get properly immersed into it. And that's why I think doing it over one season is for the best. Plus, I don't know how long it's going to take. Honestly, I really don't know. But I am incredibly looking forward to getting stuck into this. You have no idea. I've looked at some of the menus, and I found some menus that I have never seen before just by clicking stuff. So I'm looking forward to using some of that stuff to really try and build this up into an interesting situation. We've got the transfer window turned on and everything. We're going to be doing scouting. We're going to be signing players. We're going to be doing all of that. And the stuff I have no experience of doing, I will be learning to do on the fly. Now, I have had some external resources to help help me with that. Two in particular. Firstly, there'll be links in the description to both of these, so do not worry. Fox in the Box's channel, so do go check that out, as well as Oliver Jensen's blog, which I learned a lot about training and a lot about the intricacies of scouting a little bit deeper from there as well. So I've put links to both of those in the description if you want to go check those out and learn more. I urge you to, because let's face it, you ain't going to learn this stuff from me, and I'd much rather you learn it from people far more learned than myself. We're also going to be managing things like the team cohesion side of things, checking out the dynamics, basing our signings around that as well, really getting in deep. And the reason I haven't been able to do this in the past is because with my normal series, I just don't have time. You don't have that amount of time, which is why by slowing things down a little bit, albeit in a varied way, like towards the end of the preseason, once we're sort of sorting things out, I will speed things up a little bit so we can get towards the start of the season and whatnot. But we can take our time, and that is a luxury that I've never had in a save before, and I'm very much looking forward to it. To wrap up FM19. I don't know whether this will go on to the end of that, because that would be a long season. But still. Now, normally before I make these types of videos at the start of a save, I've normally done my research on the team, I've looked at the players, I know kind of an idea of what we want to do. With this one, I did nothing. I wanted to make that all fresh, essentially. I know that they are Sociedad Deportiva Huesca, or SD Huesca. Hopefully we can make them into HD Huesca. And they do have some delightful kits, I have to say. These are lovely, particularly this. Actually, they're all great. From a transfer side of things, we've got a transfer budget of 128k, but we do have a buttload of wages. So I can shuffle... Well, I can't at the moment, but we will be able to shuffle some of that, and so we should, in theory, be able to make some transfers, hopefully, because I'm doing it all myself, remember. Also, in case you're wondering, I only have the Spanish leagues turned on, the top 3 tiers, basically. And I'm trying it with this weird database setup, which I talked about before, where I have 360,000 players turned on, but none of the leagues. So it will give us a great pool of players to maybe pick from and scout from, but without the trouble of the leagues actually having to generate. It makes saving a bit longer and the transfer window a bit longer, but we've got time for that now, and it's a real luxury to be able to do this. So we're going to take a quick look at the squad in this video, and just see if there's anything that stands out to us about what we might want to do, but we'll take a much deeper look in the next episode. The lengths should be around the normal lengths of my episodes, maybe veering up in some of them, but for the most part, it'll be about 15 to 16, 17 minutes. So looking at the squad itself, our best players are 2 older players, both of which, wow, we have a lot of loan players. Oh my god. Who's on loan from Athletic? So, I mean, this is going to be the problem for us. We've got loan players. We do have an excellent... Nope, he's on loan as well. Jesus. In fact, no, not Jesus. It's Juan. So, 5 of our top 7 players are on loan. And God, we've got so many players on loan. It's mental. So, our best player that isn't on loan is Javi Gayan. I'm going to need lots of wonderful pronunciation tips from y'all, because I struggle with this kind of stuff, as you know, and I always do want to learn. So he is a very decent looking left winger on the left hand side, so that's definitely a positive for us. Resolute personality. He's got 4 years on his contract, not that it really matters, but I'm going to treat it as if we were doing loads of years. Obviously, we're not going to cut corners in that sense because it's only 1 season. Good crossing, dribbling, first touch. Okay, so we've got a solid left winger. We've also got an excellent centre-back here, 6'1", amazing marking and heading. His tackling is decent as well. We actually, oh my god, Pablo Insua, didn't he used to play for Liverpool back in the day? We've actually got 3 relatively good centre-back, not even relatively good, like some of our best players, in fact. So, yeah, Etzieta and, yeah, Damien Musto here is a defensive midfielder. Okay. 6 foot tall, marks opponents tightly, does argue with officials as well. The 31-year-old Argentinian who's on loan from, I guess, an Argentinian side in Tijuana. So that's kind of interesting. Okay, so we know I'm just looking at where we've got good players to sort of see where maybe a tactic could start to inform ourselves. We've got good centre-backs, we've got a good left winger, a good DM. We've got a good striker here in Juan Hernandez, who's actually, he's 5'9", so he's fairly diminutive. We can't be putting like high balls into him. Low crosses is probably going to be something we'll look at for him. Decent dribbling, good finishing, good first touch, his passing solid, his technique is off the ball. He's got a lot of good things for an advanced forward role. He's not super quick. We do have 2 players on this left wing, and that is a real issue for me. Can he play on the right-hand side? Not really. I mean, sort of. We could train him, but that would be... We will do stuff like that, of course, but that is an interesting conundrum that we've got 2 excellent left wingers. We've got Moy Gomez, who plays... Yeah, he's on loan from Sporting Gijón. Again, decent attacking midfielder. At the moment, it's looking like a sort of 4-1-2-2-1 type of system, and I know that's a system we've played before, but it kind of lends itself to that. I might look at other ideas because I don't want to like just play the same system I've played before, but we're going to have to play a different style of football regardless, because we are going to be on the end of some hidings. We're going to have to set up with the defensive for counter-attacking, really. We're not going to be able to impose ourselves that much on this league. Although Pablo Insua does have solid passing and reasonable vision, so he might be a good one that we could maybe use as a ball-playing defender, just to provide us a slightly different outlet. Another solid centre-back in Pulido. He's actually our player as well. But we've got Insua, we've got Etzieta, and we've got Pulido here. And also, we could lose players too, remember. Let's not forget that. But we just start on the squad depth page here to really kind of see what's actually going on here. So we've got you know, a reasonably strong striker, two reasonably strong left-sided players, some options in the middle as well with Gomez and Juanpi as well, who can play on the right-hand side. We've also got Miramon here, who looks like a really decent enough right-sided player. Finishing is a bit poor. Again, lots of quite diminutive players. We've not got a lot of height in our forward position, so we will need to concentrate on keeping the ball on the floor, and he does like to play short, simple passes, so we've got to be careful with that when we try to play like long balls, because he won't do it. And also, interestingly, we got Juanpi, who really could be very useful because he can play across the centre and on this right-hand side as an inside forward. So cutting back in a bit, but a good dribbler of the ball and a decent finisher as well. So he could definitely be relied upon for some goals, maybe. It's going to turn the pros and cons on here. I need to set a lot of this up because obviously it resets when you start a new save. See, he's not even good enough for this league at the moment. That's 3 stars in our team. We've got Luisinho, who is another left-sided player. Probably would be best to have to play him a bit deeper, though, because we really are lacking in the left-back spot at the moment. So there's going to be positions that we're going to identify and try and go after, and we'll definitely talk more about that in the next episode. I thought I'd just give you a quick run-through of some of the players, basically, because we're going to go into this in much, much greater detail soon. So, next episode is going to be all sorts of stuff, basically. It's not that there's going to be one single thing. We're just going to keep going. We're going to play the first friendly as well, which is going to be against the poorer side, and I'll explain why when we get there. I'm going to schedule it first. We're going to assign new staff. We're going to start the scouting assignments. We're going to look at the squad in more detail. We're going to build a tactic, get an idea of that. We're going to check out the medical stuff, check out the value of the staff that we've actually got and see if they could be improved. There's going to be a lot of stuff. We're going to look at the team dynamics of the players to see whether there's any kind of problems there. Look at the team leaders, look at all of that stuff. And I'm very much looking forward to it, and I hope you are as well. So, tune in at 7 o'clock tomorrow for that, as we really do start getting things kicking off in this save. I hope you're looking forward to it, because I am. Just something a little bit different, really. You know, I've got an opportunity to do this right now, so I thought, why not try something out? So, if you're looking forward to the series, I'm not going to set a like target. Just, hey, smash the like button. That'd be kind of cool. And if you are new to the channel and you're looking forward to more stuff like this, subscribe. It's fun. Every night at 7, new video. I mean, what more do you want on that one? And I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.